Dangerous one up on here, someone said. Anyone guess? Procrastination is killing us because we'll get to it when? Tomorrow, later. How many of you have worked with a client and said, hey, that sounds great, let me call you next week? When do they call you? When do they call you? Never. You know it very well. It's called this. Lodi. How many of you know that term? Law of diminishing intent. Law of diminishing intent. That's a fancy term for this. Your best intentions decrease over time. Your best intentions decrease over time. So when someone says, you know what, that sounds great, I'm going to call you. It's not that they're lying to you. It's that Lodi has got a hold of them. Which means this, the minute they hang up the phone with you, guess what? The dog starts barking, the kids are crying, the bills need to be paid, dinner needs to be made, and guess where you get placed? Bottom of the pile. Now, here's the key. How many of you want to learn how to overcome that in your clients? Because there's a way. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Write this down. Here's the way to overcome Lodi. Overcome it in yourself first. How many of you understand the law of attraction? Like attracts like. Water seeks its own level. You attract what you put out. You all understand that?
Yes.
If you are somebody that struggles with laziness, someone that struggles with Lodi, guess what kind of clients you're attracting?
Lodi.
Lazy people that are struggling with Lodi. Now, as bad as procrastination, I still hate procrastination. I'm thinking of changing my last name to now. Because if you don't do something now, when are you going to do it? Never. I have a friend that's been talking about joining a gym forever. Last January, she was going to join. Waited till August, and we went out to eat. She goes, this week I'm going to join the gym. I said, how long have you been talking about that for? She goes, I know, I've been procrastinating, but this week I'm going to do it for sure. I have days off. We were getting ready to order some food. I said, why don't you just do it right now? She goes, what do you mean? I said, just do it right now. I handed her my phone. I said, call the gym, make an appointment, and we'll go afterwards. She goes, oh, I get it. That's funny. Do it now. Yeah, that's funny. I'll do it this week. I said, this week is not now. You know what she's doing? She's building a procrastination muscle. Every time you procrastinate, guess what you build? A procrastination muscle. That is it easier or harder to do it next time, to procrastinate again? Easier, right? Because we procrastinate. So I said, no, do it now, or you won't do it. She goes, you know what? I'm going to do it. She grabs my phone, she dialed to the gym, Gold's Gym down the street, she called it up, she made the appointment after we ate, we went in there, and we signed her up. Now getting her to go work out is a whole other story. But at least she took the first step and did it, right? You want to overcome procrastination in your clients? Guess what the key is? Overcome it in yourself first. Procrastination is there's one slightly worse, just slightly worse, but it makes all the difference. I'm working on it. Why, Wes? It's a pretty good one if we're working on it. Because for 99% of people, I'm working on it is really procrastination in sheep's clothing. It looks like this. You know what? It's tough out there. The market's bad. She goes, it's tough. You know, I got some leads and I'm following up, but you know, it's rough out there right now, and I'm working on it. Okay, good. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do for lunch today? What are we going to eat? Yeah. Or it looks like this. You know what? I need to get control of my health because my health hasn't been the same lately. But it's tough because there's fast food down the road, and I'm on the go. I'm seeing clients. I'm not 16 anymore. It's tough. I'm working on it. Okay, good. So where are we going for happy hour? And then suddenly we forget. What I'm working on it does to most people is this. It buys you more time to stay exactly where you're at. And it costs us. We buy days, weeks, months, sometimes years. I worked with a lady not too long ago who's 74 years old. And I said, what's your goal? And she said, my goal is to lose 30 pounds. I said, that's great, great goal. How long have you been working on that? We calculated it out. It's been about 45 years. She goes, no, seriously, Wes, I'm working on it. Now, she may be working on it, but is she going to get there in this lifetime?
No.
No. Because she keeps telling herself, I'm working on it, and then guess what? One day she wakes up and she's not 18 anymore. She's 30. And the very next day you wake up and you're 50, and then the day after that you wake up and you're 65. How many of you know once you pass 25, time just seems to like fly? Does that ever happen to anybody? Yeah. Time is on a fast train and you can't stop it. Wrong. What are you going to do? That's it. So, I'm working on it is the most dangerous one because we lie to ourselves. Take a look at those patterns here, the ones that we run the most. How long have you said some of those things? How long have you said, oh, it's a bad market, I got to be careful not to spend my money. I'm out of time. I don't have the time to put into my business, my career that I really want. Just hire somebody. How long have those things been things that you said in your head? Years? Let me ask you this. Do you think it's taken its toll in your life up until this point? Do you think it's shown up in maybe the amount of energy you have every day? What about today? Let's say the meeting's done and it's time to go out to work. Do you think this shows up with your clients in you?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Check your energy level right now. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being jumping out of your seat, 1 being, where are you at?
8.
8. Now we had a good meeting, but you can see where I'm going with it. Does it show up? Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen someone across the room, you've never talked to them before in your life, and you think, ooh, I get a weird vibe from that person. There's something wrong about that person. Has that ever happened to anybody? Yeah. Likewise, have you ever seen someone across the room, you've never talked to them before, and you think, hey, I kind of like that person. There's something about that individual I think I would connect with. Has that ever happened to anybody? Yeah. Because no matter if you're talking or not, you are always giving off a vibe. What kind of vibe do you give? Now, when we take this stuff home, by the way, does a person who runs these patterns operate in scarcity or abundance? Scarcity. And when we take this home and we look our children in the eye, what do you think happens to them? They get the same thing, and we pass on who we are to them. Now, do me a favor, just add 10 years to however old you are right now. 10 years. If that is true, 10 years from now, and I come back here and we were to magically meet all back here, 10 years from now, you're still running the same excuses and patterns. What does your life look like? Man, scary. Same? Worse? Because you've lost 10 years. How many do you think the last 10 years just flew by? Another 10 years will be here just like that. And if we're still running these, are we really getting the results we want? No. So what do you need to do about it? Here's what you do. Here's the key. Write this down. Bring in a motivational speaker. No, I'm kidding. Please show that. No. This is the thing. That's what a lot of people think. They think, you know what? Bless you. Right on. I'm going to go down to Barnes & Noble right after we're done here, and I'm going to buy a new book. I'm going to get all excited. But guess what happens? 3 weeks later, after buying that book, how much of it have they read? 2 pages. 2 chapters, one big introduction, and then it's gone. Because in the battle back and forth between what you want and what stops you, what side normally wins? The side that stops you. Why? It's easier. It's easier. Exactly. We always default to what's easier. There's stairs and an elevator at the mall. What are we going to take? We're going to take an elevator, an escalator, right? Path of least resistance.